Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Talks with Rho. I got my morning drink on deck, and I'm prepared to have an Ask Rho day. So I'm going to wait for everybody to kind of come in, get cozy. I'm listening to a little jazz while, folks drop into the spot. Good morning. I wonder how everybody's week has been going, how it started out, and how you been feeling about moving through 2019. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from people that they are enjoying the start to their 2019, that they're feeling empowered. Hey, Shirley. Shout out to the cooking and stories, right? Rope Easy in the kitchen. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. This is Morning Talks with Rho. Did you get your morning drink? Did you bring it on deck? What up? Y'all like my Fat Albert hat? I got this from my sister. Shout out to Bennett. I love it. I love wearing hats. This is like super cute to me. Shout out! Roz, I just got through shouting you out. Isn't it cute, sis? Bennett strong. Hey, Rhonda. Christina, good morning, dear. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. We're having an Ask Rho type of morning, type of afternoon for some of y'all, but it's a type of morning over here in Cali. I got a few questions on deck from, people who chimed in from the post that I put up last night. If you guys want to, thank you, Joseph. Welcome to the conversation. I think it's cute too, huh? If you guys want to throw some questions out there today, you have me at your, whatever you want, whatever you need, Eddie, I'm here. So if you have a question regarding growth or change or just something about the industry, something about transition, something about healing, something about love, something about hurt, pain, I'm open. Today is like a smorgasbord of conversation. So whatever we want to do, we can do. What up, Joseph? Welcome to the conversation, dear. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Morning Talks with Rho. Look, I changed up my piece today. This is by Temple of Soul. Shout out to Amun. This is some raw emerald. This is my birthstone. I just liked it. And, of course, that's clear quartz crystal on the bottom. But something about it just felt real ancient. It was like kind of... the copper necklace or whatever, and I just was like, I want that, So shout out to Amun for my latest piece to the collection. Hey, everybody. Okay, so Shirley wants to talk about worrying. Okay, I'm going to turn the music down, and thank you, Joseph. Okay, what do you want to talk about worrying? There's a great quote out there that says, worrying is borrowing tomorrow's worries for today. So what are you worrying about that may not even happen? What are you projecting into the future that may not even be your reality? It may not even be what you end up experiencing. Let's find out the why behind the worry. Thank you, Maurice. Welcome to the conversation. Hey, y'all, it's Morning Talks with Rho. You got your morning drink? Good morning, Naliji. Welcome to the conversation. So, Shirley, what's the why behind the worry? A lot of us deal with, hey, Greg, welcome to the conversation. A lot of us deal with worry, right? We end up projecting into the future the things that we don't want, and quite possibly end up spending a lot of energy invested into something that doesn't even happen. It's not even real, And what I would like to say, even before she gives us an answer, is to do your best to redirect that energy, right? It's there. So in what other way can you direct that energy towards what you do want? What is the thing that you do want? And then how realistic is it to have that thing? We got to find out why we're worrying, and is it worth the investment? Is it worth the investment? There are some things that you're like, yeah, this was something to worry about. And then there are other things we're just projecting. And we're probably investing our energy and time in a place that's really not going to give us any returns, right? So what else can we do to redirect that energy? Hey, Chile, welcome to the conversation. I got about 4 questions on deck from people either via Instagram or Facebook that I'm going to answer, because I did put out there that I was going to do the morning talk today and allow people to just ask me whatever. So I'm going to be answering those questions. But to start, we're going to talk about what has Miss Shirley worrying and how we can possibly shift that in the moment together, right? Let's learn something together, possibly. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. This is Morning Talks with RHO. Shirley, you must be writing for a second. So let me switch to another question, and then I'm going to come back to that. How about that? So Kim Black chimed in last night, and she says, I guess she's asking how to place decision makers in your tribe so that you're not making all of them yourself. That's actually a good question, if that's the question. She didn't put a question mark behind it. She just said placing decision makers in your tribe so you're not making all of them. I mean, one of the ways that we grow, in my humble opinion, one of the ways that I've grown personally is that I had to build a team. I know that we feel like we might have all the answers, and we even, hear the quote, like, if you want it done right, do it yourself. But after a while, if you really want to make the most of your time, if you really want to be able to stretch into what's possible, what more you have to offer, what more you have to give, how you can be in more places more often, but you can't do it all yourself. You can't do it all yourself. So you got to hire a team. So I would say find out what your values are. Right? And any of my PPU alumni know this. A lot of things I have them to put up against their value system. What do you value? What characteristics in a person do you value? What things in life do you value? And once you find that out, pick people to come into your tribe based on your value system. Pick your relationships based on your value system. Your romantic relationships. Pick whatever is in your life. If you're having a hard time deciding whether it stays or goes, or whether it needs to be prioritized higher or lower in your life, put it up against your value system. Do you value loyalty? Do you value support, being supportive? Do you value someone who is physically fit, who cares for their body, right? Do you value intellectual stimulation? Do you value spiritual grounding, or are you an atheist? You know what I'm saying? Do you value free thinkers or people who are more traditional? Want to stay in line with the status quo. I mean, a lot of these things are important. Once you figure that out about yourself, then put that up against everything that's in your world and see how it measures up. And you'll be able to know, you know what? I've been prioritizing this person or this situation or this thing way higher than it deserves to be prioritized. I need to put this down here, and I need to actually switch places with something else that I've been putting too low on the priority list. It needs to go up because it matches more with my value system. It aligns more with who I really am. It aligns more with the things that are most important to me. Right? Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Hey everybody, welcome to the conversation. Either it's something she can't control or worry about. Yeah, if you can't control it, what's the serenity prayer, y'all? Write it in the chat. This is something that my mom used to say all the time, and it used to help her get through everything. It is a traditional, it's like an age-old proverb at this point. The serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to change the things I can change. What is it? Accept the things I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference. I know I might be kind of switching the words up a little bit, but it's a super powerful, practical prayer that's just the truth. Right? What can you change? Be aware of that. What can't you change? Accept that. And then the wisdom to know the difference. Ask for that. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the conversation. Shalay says, ensure their values and goals are aligned with yours. One must surround themselves with like-minded individuals. PPU, bless up, alumni. Hey, Joseph, welcome to the conversation, dear. Shirley says, my mother must go for a bowel examination Wednesday. They had found something in an earlier test. I know I must not worry, but my mind goes anyway. I also know the odds are very small. It's going to be something bad, but still, I cannot stop thinking about it, even when I get to do something for fun. Well, the first thing is to realize that your mom is obviously someone that you care about tremendously. On a deep, deep level. So anytime someone that we care about on that level, in that magnitude, it could cause some worry because you want them to be okay. Part of you is afraid of what it would feel like either to not have them or to have your loved one going through something that scares them, that could cause them pain that you don't want them to have. But at the end of the day, you just said it in even your statement, that it's a small chance that it might even be something. So allow that to land. Allow yourself to think on the other side. I'm choosing, and maybe even say something to this degree, because I believe in speaking to things, you know. We are influenced by our thoughts and the words that we say, right? So speak to it and say, you know, no matter what, this is still working for our good. Some way, somehow, whatever the resources we need, whatever people we need are going to come into her life, our lives at the right time, for the right things in the right way, and we're going to get the right results. Whatever that is, I choose to trust the process of this. It's like almost a kind of a way to speak a prayer of faith, right? Whatever it is, and this is something that I've adopted for myself that really helps me. I say, even no matter how crazy something looks, somehow, some way, this is still working for my good. And I end up finding good in whatever I went through, even if it sucked. I'll find it because my mind now is trying, my brain is trying to reconcile what I just said to my reality. You feel me? Super powerful. Let's see. Hey, y'all, welcome to the conversation. Good morning, Philip. Okay, Maurice says, God don't change it. He'll change the way you think about the situation. Bless up. That's what it comes down to, our thoughts and mindset. Thank you, Maurice. Finding the good. No matter what, no matter what this situation looks like or feels like, there's good here. No matter what this situation feels like or looks like, it's still working for our good. I don't know how, but whatever the resources we need, they're going to come at the right time and the right way, whatever that is. If there's a lesson that needs to be gathered before we move past this moment, we're going to get it. Like, what is it trying to tell you that you're going through this thing? Sometimes we're so busy running from stuff that we don't like that we miss what's trying to get our attention. Maybe we're dealing with a certain amount of pain, angst, or worry because something's just trying to get your attention. Maybe there's a lesson here. Maybe there's a blessing here in the pain. Maybe there's a pattern break that needs to happen, and without the pain, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't choose to see something differently. You wouldn't be pushed to stretch in perspective about it. And there takes us right back to, no matter what this thing looks like, there's good here. No matter what this thing looks like, it's still working for my good. Even if it means that I'm just going to grow from this. Even if it means that I'm just going to stretch as a human being. Even if it means that I'm just going to stretch in my capacity to love more. That's still good to me. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Tony. Happy New Year, dear. So what do you think about that, Shirley? I can barely see you guys because the sun is like shifting. It keeps shifting on me. So, sorry. Hey, y'all. Okay, so the first question about placing decision makers in your tribe so that you're not making them all. Align yourself with people who reflect your values. Align yourself with people who believe in your vision. If it's a company or whatever, I don't know what you need those tribe members for. But align yourself with people who reflect your value system and who reflect your vision, who believe in your vision, who have passion for your vision, who have passion and care for you. Genuinely. And I think you'll be great picking whoever you need to have on your team. Oh, beautiful. Yay, Shirley, I'm glad to hear that. Read that. Okay, another question I got, and if you guys want to ask, bless up, Tony. If you guys want to ask me anything, I am available to take your questions. So, all right, the second question I got was from Huggable Cakes on Instagram. I'm about to turn this, dang, this air. I need some love up in here. It's hot. It's hot over here. I know it's probably freezing in other places, but it's actually warm in Cali, in this car anyway. 65. Okay, so who is my idol? What motivates me the most? And what's my favorite hobby? I don't really have an idol anymore. I used to if you wanted to call it that. My childhood idol was Whitney Houston. When I saw her, she just, her whole imaging was motivation for me. I wanted to be a singer. She was very beautiful to me. She had a lot of poise, you know, in the way that she delivered her music. She was very passionate. She was captivating. So she definitely moved me in that way. And I remember her being a huge inspiration for what I wanted to do. Even when I was driving down the street in our old brown Monte Carlo, it's like, I think it was a 76 Monte Carlo in Chicago with my mom. And she asked me, you know, Rhona, what do you want to do when you grow up? And basically, she's big on education. So she's like, she knew I wanted to sing, but she wanted to find out what my plan B was. And I was like, I don't have a plan B. I only had a plan A. I wanted to be a singer like Whitney Houston. And there you have it. What motivates me the most? Ooh. You're going to find that I don't have a lot of specific extremes. I don't have favorites because I like a lot of different things in life for a lot of different reasons. But if I was to say something that motivates me the most, maybe just the thought that I want to experience what my next greatest version is all the time. Like, what more am I capable of achieving? Of the dreams and goals that I have, what else am I willing to be courageous enough to go after and see if I can get it to manifest? That may motivate me. That motivates me a lot. I don't know about the most. And then let's see, a favorite hobby. I don't have a favorite, but I love listening to music. Y'all know that. Straight up music junkie. So possibly music, listening to live music, and or just being at the crib and turning on some vinyl, or hooking up with my friends and having a glass of vino and just going in about the layers of the magic behind the music. Like, that's fantastic for me. So let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, Robert. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Hey, Ty, welcome to the conversation, dear. Maurice, so much to go after. Yeah, man. Right? That's huge motivation. Just to find out what's your next greatest version. Can you imagine? That never stops. That's an ongoing question. That's an ongoing ideal to stretch into. That's what keeps life interesting to me. That's how you can't even afford, like it keeps you focused. It's like, what's my next greatest version? How do I come into that? Who do I need to become? What are the new things I need to tweak? What are the places in my life that if it's not producing the results I want, what ways do I want to tweak that in order for me to step into, what will work, what does work? Can you imagine that just keeps you stretching into something greater? Wow. Okay, right? So the other question I got is from the official Kayla. Says, the biggest lesson I've learned in the music industry that I've applied to my daily life. Ooh, that's a great question. The biggest lesson I've learned from the music industry that I've applied to my daily life. Not going to go with an extreme, right? Like, there's only one major thing. There's several things I've learned in my pursuit for what I desire as an artist, right? But if I were to choose a word right now that keeps popping up, it's adaptation. When the music industry hit our major skid mark, I think that was around 2009. Wherever my music heads are, let me know if I'm wrong or right. When did we hit? When it was over a period of time, because it started with Napster, right? Started with Napster and all the pirating that was going on. Let me unplug this thing real quick, you guys. Sorry. It started with Napster. the pirating, music pirating, and people were losing their money. And then the music industry, the big music heads, the companies didn't want to adapt at the time. Like, they were still in their, all powerful, almighty stance. Like, we're the music industry. We don't change for them. They change for us. But it was like, nope, nobody knew this digital age was getting ready to just take over. Right. And so a lot of people, because of that possible, for lack of a better word, egoic response to what was happening, were behind the curve of the change. They did not choose to adapt in that moment. And a lot of big companies, as you know, downsized and started to perish. People were losing jobs left and right. A lot of the industry work that we were used to has disappeared. I mean, there used to be writing camps, and you could be a writer and have a career. You could be a background singer and have a career just doing session work. I should say a session singer, and live well, because people would be calling you in for sessions all the time. There was budget for that. There was opportunity for that. It was set up differently. But as the digital era kicked in and boomed, it started to take a lot of the power. The kind of, what do you call it when they monopolize the power? Like where you could get your opportunities from was usually this one place. But once we started to spread the wealth, man, via MySpace and, now Facebook and Instagram and all these opportunities for you to basically be your own record company, be your own marketing company. It just came down to how much drive did you have to compete online. Right? There were people that were coming out of obscurity, blowing up, and people were trying to find out, well, what formula did they use? By the time you figured out whatever formula you thought they had, somebody else was coming up with another way through the back door and was competing on the level of a major company. So if there's a word that drops into my mind that I have applied to my life based on what I've experienced in the music industry, it is to adapt. A lot of people quit. When the going got tough. A lot of people did not know how to transition at that time. And I remember when I hit my skid mark in my life where I was like, am I changing my career? Like, I've been doing this professionally since I was 12 years old. And what is happening right now? Right? But, and at one point I thought I was. I was like, well, you guys know I've said this before. I refuse to be unhappy. And so I was like, in what way can I use whatever talent and or skills that I have and that I can develop to feel purposeful and experience real joy still? And I kept a little glimmer of my dream, like on my vision board for music over here. And I knew I needed to keep an outlet available to express my passion. I think that's very necessary for all of us. If you have a passion, even if it's not your moneymaker, keep an outlet open to still express it. Because that's where your real joy comes from, and it can provide a lot of balance for everything else you feel like you have to do in your life. You feel me? So I was like, I know I got to keep a pathway open for my passion, but in what other way can I be of purpose and experience real joy if I got to change my career? And so I started to work on that and adapt. And then when I saw that the social media was coming in, because I'm a very polished, I came from Disney, right? I had media training. You know what I mean? We came up in a different way. I learned how to deal with media outlets and speak a certain way and answer things. There was some masterful stuff that I get to take with me. Very grateful for that to this day. But then there was this whole new wave coming in of being authentic, like showing up and letting your mess up stay on camera. You know what I mean? Showing up and letting people see that you're flawed. Showing up, and all of that stuff was adaptation. And instead of running from it, I had to be uncomfortable and adapt. I had to get on there and do videos and realize that I thought that video sucked. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like the way I came across, but I got to do it anyway. And it was scary. It was scary. But I refused to be unhappy. And so I was like, you have to push yourself. You have to gather whatever. You have to muster the courage to step outside of your comfort zone and do something different, because guess what? The world is leaving you. Now, you can stay back here and do what you want to do, but that doesn't mean that you're going to thrive. So you have a choice that you can make. Are you going to adapt or die? Maybe not that grave, but yeah, a lot of people did It was an adapt or die situation. And that's with a lot of industry. And that's with life in general. And I'm not saying die in the sense of, literally. But I mean, a career could perish. A dream could perish if you aren't willing to adapt. A relationship could perish or if you aren't willing to adapt. So, powerful question. I think that's a great word. What do you guys think about that before I move forward? Woo-hoo. Wow. Oh, thank you, Finesse. Maurice says it's a different from just selling albums than selling online. Yeah, all of it is different, right? That's what I was asking, how they're making the money if they're not selling albums or CDs. Well, nowadays you got to be creative. So, a lot of people aren't making their money like they used to from albums and CDs, They're making it sometimes from singles, but a lot of times it's peripheral, or as they say, ancillary projects. So, it may be you getting commercial work or licensing deals for your music to be coupled with a TV show or a commercial, or whatever digital outlets may pay for your use of your intellectual property. Merchandising, huge for a lot of people. They may make most of their money there. Touring, they make most of their money there. Collaboration projects with other partners, having several pools that you pull from to make your money. It's not just one area, right? You may be a filmmaker, you may be a songwriter, also publishing, still a big thing if you can be a songwriter. Just different pools. It's the same thing when they say diversify. When you have a money portfolio to make passive income, diversify. Creating other creating other avenues of work where you have skill and or talent, and also doing other things. Being creative, stretching yourself, a lot of ancillary projects. It's not necessarily, now the albums and the CDs are almost like just promotional tools. Some people do make money from album sales, but a lot of people, really, they're just an opportunity to get the work out there, to present you more in the marketplace, to boost your presence in the marketplace, and then create opportunity from there. That makes sense. Okay, let's see. Hey, Victor, you're at the Smokehouse in Burbank. Bless up. Have a great performance. Hey, Christine, how are you? Welcome to the conversation. This is Morning Talks with Ro for those of you who just joined. And we are just talking, this is Ask Ro today. So if you have any questions for me, or, and there's no limit to the subject matter. It could be what we just talked about in the music industry. It could be about your healing. It could be about, how to adapt. We just talk about that. Mindset, whatever it is. So I'm going to ask this last question that I got, and I think this was from Instagram as well, from Mickey Gambino. It says, how to consistently be positive, how to persevere, and to be organized. Okay. Hey, Sora, welcome to the conversation. Finer woman in the spot. How to consistently be positive? Well, what's the stimuli that you have around you? What's your social circle look like? How positive are the people that are surrounding you? What do you purposefully, deliberately put in your environment so that you are motivated, inspired by what you see and what you hear to continue thinking a certain way or perceiving things a certain way, so that how's your perception? What do you allow things to mean to you? Do you look at the world as the glass is half full or half empty, right? How are you choosing to see things? Do you look for the good in something as opposed to going in the opposite direction? All of these things can contribute to our ability to stay positive. Do you look for the good? Do you trust? Do you claim that no matter what things are looking like we spoke about earlier in the conversation, that it's still working for your good? And then do you look for that because you choose to have faith in that? Do you get up in the morning and feed your spirit first before you allow the world and its agenda to take your mind and your focus and your attention away to something else? Do you watch the news all day? Which is a very negative outlet, especially if you're watching political news right now. Right? What conversations are you entertaining on a regular basis? What energy are you contributing to the environment? Are you purposeful about what you're doing when you do it? Are you conscious about who you're choosing to be in the moment? Or are you waiting for life to give you something in order for you to be positive? Or are you bringing the energy to the situation? Are you finding ways to generate it from within and then delivering that in the moment? All of these things can contribute to our ability to be consistently positive. It says how to persevere. I think that even what I was bringing up in the beginning of our conversation about having an ideal, a greater vision to reach for, that keeps us stretching into something greater. That keeps us looking for ways to have what it is we say we want to have. And then once you get to that thing, if you get to that thing, to then stretch again. There's always more. So what's the more for you? How can you be of service? How can you achieving your dream help others, serve others? What good will it do for others that you get what you want? Make it bigger than yourself. When you make your aspirations bigger than yourself, does that then make you persevere? Does that then stretch you in what's possible? Does that then change how you approach your dream or goal? All of these things can keep you stretching. Perseverance. Stretching. When you stop dreaming, when you stop going after something, when you stop creating something for yourself to stretch into, what is there to persevere for? Right? So definitely all of those things can contribute to that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Nalaja, welcome to the conversation, dear. Thank you. When did you realize that you were living your dream, or there are more dreams you are going? To be honest, I guess I've been living my dream for a long time, right? I've been doing entertainment professionally since I was 12. I was really working before that. I just wasn't getting paid. Professionally means you're getting paid for it. But I think I started getting paid at 11 or 12. I want to say 12. But that doesn't mean that I haven't hit road bumps and skip marks and scary times and wasn't getting paid. You know what I mean? So I've been living my dream for quite some time. And then I've had to revise my dream. Some of the things that I thought I wanted, I don't really want that anymore. And maybe because it didn't happen the way that I thought I wanted it to happen, it changed what my dream became for me, or what I thought it would look like, or what I wanted it to look like. But I've always just kind of tweaked and revised my dream as I move forward. So I'm living my dream. And sometimes I think, the word dream can sound very lofty, right? It's like, ooh, dream, you know what I mean? Sometimes our dreams are not that huge. You know what I mean? It could be something super practical, Like, for example, I'm a coach now, right? I'm a life coach. This was not an initial dream for me. This became a glimmer of a dream it's over a decade now. But I remember saying it and not really doing much about it. Not until I hit a roadblock in my life I pushed to become the coach that I thought I wanted to become over a decade ago. And just launching my school was a dream. Does it compete with the Tony Robbins of the world and the Brendan Burchards at this moment? No, but it's still my dream realized. It's still my dream actualized. Right? There's things that I wanted in my home, right? And I would always see it. Sometimes it's so funny to me when I look from this overpass over some stairs that I have, and I just look down and I'm like, wow, I remember dreaming about having these particular floors 10 years ago. And I would just come down and I would just see it. It wasn't there, but I would just see it. It was an easy vision to invest in because it was just what I naturally desired to be in there, but I didn't afford it yet. Right? And then, bam, there it is. Dream actualized. Now, somebody else might not say, oh, that's a dream. You know what I mean? No, it was a dream in my mind. It was something that I desired. It was something that I wanted. And now it's here. Some curtains I used to see. I used to see it. It wasn't there. There were blinds there forever. You know, getting you guys to stretch about what a dream could be for you. Because some of us don't feel as accomplished as we think we could be. But maybe you are very accomplished based on the things that you desire specifically. And can you imagine once you give the attention, the conscious attention to, hey, wait a minute, I did create that. Wait a minute, I did desire that and it's here. You can apply that to other areas of your life. So I've been living dreams for quite some time now. And there are other dreams that I'm still waiting on their manifestation. There are dreams I've had 20 years ago that I'm just now seeing the manifestation of, which is why I love the quote by Ernest Holmes that says, do until you demonstrate. Because that means that it may not happen. It could happen in 2 days. It could happen in 2 weeks. It could happen in 2 months. It could happen in 2 years. It could happen in 20 years. How passionate are you about it? How much do you desire it? How long are you willing to hold the vision for it? How long are you willing to do the work for it? And sometimes doing the work, it may be the inside job, the inside work you need to keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking so that you step into the person or energetic space you need to be in order to receive it. 20 years. Do until you demonstrate. Powerful, right? I love to speak on the old dreams because it's like, what? Everybody wants stuff like, it don't work like that sometimes. And probably for your good. Probably for your good. Because a lot of us, if we got what we really, really wanted too soon, we might squander it and mess it over. Not being prepared, not being who we need to be to receive it. Right? So what if the delay is good? And then that takes us back to all things are working for my good. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying before I get out of here. Hey, Beverly, aloha. Bless up, baby. Yes. Yes. We all need to hear that. I love to tell myself that. I'm like, dang, this was a dream 20 years ago. I'm just now seeing this kind of the level of manifestation of what I saw. But who have I become along the way? Wow. Definitely not the same. Of course, the essence of me is the same. My authenticity is still there. But I have stretched and grown as a human. And my ability to handle whatever it is that I bring in now is different. And I got to say thank you for that. I'm grateful for that. There's some things I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen at that time. You know? Let's see, Beverly says, just tuned in and I realized that the turtle effect is good for me. Slow and steady. Come on now. Right on time. And can you imagine if we thought that way, you guys, that everything that happens, no matter what, we showed up right on time. Not too late, not too early, trusting the process. Another way to stay positive, as he said, consistently positive, and to persevere. right? Bless up. Last, he said, and to be organized, how to be organized. So this is a good one to me, because as much as I love to be organized, sometimes I don't have the energy to go and do the things that I feel need to be done for organization. Sometimes it taxes my brain so much that I'm just like, oh Lord, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, it wears me out, right? So I want you guys to remember, hire people. And if you don't feel like you have the finances to hire somebody to come in and just help you get organized, ask someone in your wheelhouse, in your immediate space that you trust, depending on what it is you need organized. Would you be willing to help me to just put this situation in some type of order? Would you be willing to help me? Whatever. Ask for help. We can't do sometimes we're just not going to master everything. You know, sometimes I'm good at organization and I'm good at blah, blah. And then other times I need help. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of things I'm wanting to manifest. I got a lot of responsibilities throughout the day, and I need help. So I need to ask for help. There are other people who love to organize. I have a buddy of mine, one of my best friends. She loves to organize. My mother, super gangster. Tell you, some of you guys know this story, but if you don't, my mom is so gangster with organization that when my dad was diagnosed with mesothelioma lung cancer, and they wanted to prove that he was affected with asbestos, you know, what they used to deal with, in the fibers in the wall, that's what they said used to cause this type of cancer, and it could lay dormant in your body for years. Like, my dad worked for this company back in 1970, I want to say. It was like 1970, right? And he and his best friend were exposed to it, and I have a feeling now that his best friend, who passed from stomach cancer, quite possibly was misdiagnosed in the 80s, and maybe it was the asbestos that had triggered in him, and you know, they didn't diagnose it correctly. Not sure, but makes me think that way, because they both worked at the same place. And my dad's didn't kick in until 40 years, like 30 years. I don't remember. It may have been 30 something years later. That's why all of those mesothelioma, lung cancer funds have been created, because they know that over time, this stuff can kick in like years later. So they had to create trusts for that, because people are dealing with it like that. But when that happened, and they were like, well, you know, how do you prove that he worked for, hey, Ernst, how do you prove that he worked for this company? My mom's like, 1 second. My mom goes into this space that I didn't even know. She had created her little cubby hole under the stairs in our house. You wouldn't even know it was there, right? Went into her space, grabbed out all these boxes that have these W-2s, all of our W-2s in succession, pulls out his W-2 from 1970. Really? I was so blown away. I was so blown away with her level of organization and her natural ability for it, her natural talent for it. She had a natural inclination to have order. There are people out there who have a natural inclination for order. Find them and let them help you. Okay, let's see. You said what? Nice talking to you. Okay. All right, Maurice, thank you for joining the conversation today. Your words are always an inspiration to my motivation. Bless up. Thank you, Tarif. Oh, I'm glad you tuned in too, Robert. I'm glad you guys got value from today's conversation. So if that's it, I think that's a good place for us to peace out. Unless you guys have another question for me. I'm gonna get out of here. But it's been a pleasure chopping it up with you. Shout out to the people who sent in their questions. Sending love to you too, Rail. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bless up. This was a good conversation today, yeah? A lot of little jewels dropped out from like random questions, random conversations that we've had. It's really, really cool. Bless up, Naliji. Sending love your way. So, shout out to everybody who tuned in. Happy Thursday to you. If you do have any questions for me that you want one of my talks to center around, if you want me to bring some, like, you know, more concrete things to a conversation surrounding a particular subject matter, just let me know. What's my greatest accomplishment thus far? Kayla says. Hey, Kayla. Of course, like I said, don't deal in extremes, right? But if I were to say one of the greatest accomplishments is, let's circle back. Adaptation. Going hard in the paint enough to adapt. Stepping up, facing my fears, dealing with my stuff, and choosing to become a greater version of myself. That's one of my greatest accomplishments. That's what I'm rocking with. All right, y'all. Until next time. Bye.